Hello and welcome back. So this is kind of a part three to the Nintendo Switch repair. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on getting these Joy-Cons repaired if we can. Today we're going to open them up, try and figure out what's going on with them. We'll give them a test real quick. I'll show you what they're doing, and hopefully we're going to be able to get them working. I have also ordered this. So this is I ordered this from a company called Power 99. Apparently, they make replacement batteries for the Nintendo Switch 2. So, if you watched my first repair video on the Switch 2, you'll see that I had ordered a replacement battery from some company off of Walmart that sells through Walmart. They're kind of like Amazon, they have like third party people that sell on the platform. It didn't work. It didn't even work with the working system when I tried it. It was just crap. Uh, so hopefully this guy will work if we need it. So I'm not sure. We're gonna put Power 99 to the test. If they're full of crap today, then we're gonna let it be known, and hopefully you guys can avoid them. But if it's good and it actually works, because it was a little steep in price for what it is, but if it does work, then I think it'll be worth it. So let's jump right into it and see what's going on. Okay, so when we plug it in, we get just a gray bar here. And if we go here, you see it shows no Joy-Cons are connected. All right. So let's begin by choosing one. And let's go for this guy here, just because. So let's put it underneath the microscope and let's take a look at this socket where it connects. So right off the bat, I can kind of see what looks like a little bit of corrosion on that center pin. It doesn't look quite right. Now I do have some replacement sockets for these Joy-Cons. There are a few replacement parts that you can get. I don't know how good they are, but I do have some in reserve. So, okay. It doesn't look too bad, but it's going to come down to what it looks like on the inside. All right, so let's get this guy opened up. Okay, so here's the battery. And let's take a minute before we get too far into it. Take a look at that connector here. We've definitely got some corrosion going on right here. And you can see a little bit on the connector as well. So I get a feeling that we probably don't have a working battery. Let me see if I can get this battery out real quick. Okay, so let's try and get a voltage reading. Okay, 3.2. And I think I had this thing in AC. So let me try it again from right here. Yeah, nothing. Completely dead. And yet we've got 3 volts here on the actual battery itself. Okay, so the cell is okay. The cell is holding a charge. Okay, so we don't have a way to replace that battery management board, and we're going to hope that this guy actually works. So I think at this point what we need to do is start breaking down this Joy-Con to the board. We're going to look for the most obvious of like liquid damage and things like that, and see if we can't get it cleaned up. And I'm hoping that there's not too much damage going on, and that we can maybe we just lost the battery management system if we're lucky. Oh man. Oh, I see some rough stuff already. Let's get in closer. Yeah, how you guys like that? Gross. Yeah, that does not look healthy. Not healthy at all. Ooh, did a number on that guy. This guy as well. Analog stick might have gotten out of it without getting messed up. Mm. Yep, that one's a little on the messed up side. So let's try to get this board out and take a look at the other side. Some of those connectors actually look like connectors from the previous Joycons. So maybe, just maybe, if we need to, we can replace those. I don't know. We'll have to get a closer look. Hopefully it's cleanable, and maybe what we can do is just get a really good clean on this board and bring it back to life. We're not going to know that though until we can get it. Maybe what it really needs is a nice bath in the ultrasonic. So let's give this thing a really, really good clean. Let's check this fuse. Okay, fuse seems to be okay. Let's check around this MediaTek chip. And it's not a direct short. Turn that beep off. Now this is a BGA. Let's see if we can kind of see what's going on. Let's get in close. Guess it could be worse. Personally, I think it might not hurt to get this guy in the into the ultrasonic. Let's do a little bit more testing. It doesn't look too good, does it? Not too good at all, honestly. And then I think what I want to do is drop it into the ultrasonic and maybe even reflow some of these BGA chips that are on here if we can get to them without too much issue. So I'll be right back. Okay, so about 5 minutes on each side in the ultrasonic. I don't think it's going to do a lot of good, honestly. All right. Let's keep measuring, see what we can come up with. So this is our BQ. And BQ should be our charging chip. Okay. We have a max chip here. Maybe this is like a fuel gauge type IC. And looks like we're missing a corner off of it. I don't think that can be good. I think this is just going to end up a parts board. I'm slowly but surely off of this system, getting more and more parts. So let's move to this one. Maybe this guy will be salvageable. Well, that didn't work out too well. Okay, before I start taking this fully apart, let's check to see if there's any voltage. And that guy just pulled directly off the board. If we can get it working, I'll have to repair that. All right, do we have any voltage? I'm gonna say no. We do not. Yeah, this guy is dead. I got a feeling we have another burn up battery management board, because just from looking, I can kind of see already some corrosion. Don't think I'm not feeling real positive about this. Okay, so this is where I said I saw the corrosion. And I see a little bit, but it's not near as bad as what it looked like on the other one. Like, nowhere near as bad. But then again, we haven't looked underneath of it either. Okay. Let's continue the breakdown. Good clean, and then we'll do a little bit more testing, or actually start testing. My opinion, that's looking better. So let's make sure we don't have any like dead shorts going on. That actually looks healthy. Okay, but I'm still not seeing a fuse. That irks me a little bit. Let's check around this chip. This is where I've seen the majority of the corrosion. So how about our MediaTek chip? Now, to be perfectly honest, I would feel much better about plugging this board in before I would the other. Okay, so maybe what happened with this one is we've just lost the battery management board in this guy. All right, so as far as I could tell, this one looks healthy enough. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's working. But let's take a look at our ribbons. Okay, that one looks good. And what about this guy? What about this guy? Oh yeah, and the inside. Okay, too bad. I think it's possible. Just maybe this guy may be salvageable. And of course, if it is salvageable, I'll need to fix that motor connector that I so gracefully tore off of the board. You know, I'm not a Nintendo hater, but and I know other companies are just as guilty of making these systems as non-repairable as humanly possible. And I mean, they would be repairable if they would just make parts available to the public, which I'm a firm believer in right to repair, as you can tell. So here's the next moment of truth. Is our battery gonna work? Hey, would you look at that? That's a good sign. Let me see if I can fix this rumble motor that like I said, I so gracefully tore off. All right, let's pop this thing back together. So, as far as we can tell, we got one working. So, let's see what happens. Hey, well, where is it? Okay, I see the color popping up. So now it's registering, but it ain't working. So it's not showing up here at all. Okay, so I have my controller here for this side, and it pairs just fine. So we know it's seeing it. I mean, there's a pretty good chance I didn't put something back together right. So let me take this thing back apart, and we'll go from there. If I find something, I'll show you, but let me reseat all the, I'm going to reseat all the ribbon connectors. I may replace this socket right here just because I have some brand new ones, and we'll kind of go from there. But let me take it apart, get it put back together, and like I say, if I actively see anything, I'll show you. If not, I'll come back when it's time to test.
2 hours later.
Okay, so it's been quite a while, but I finally got it. Okay, so here's what happened. It wasn't, I did change out that ribbon cable, the connector, but as you can see, we now have it on screen, and when we release it, it shows up and it works wirelessly. Okay, so it was actually really weird. I didn't record this part, but when I finally got it to work, the issue was I could get it to work like this wirelessly, but every time I would put it in, it wouldn't show up here. So as I got to looking around, what I ended up finding was some corrosion around the BQ chip on this guy. I put it back into the ultrasonic cleaner, and once I got done in the ultrasonic cleaner, I went ahead and I reflowed that BQ, cleaned it real good, reflowed it a second time, and now that seems to be exactly what it needed. Well, we have one Joycon for parts, and one Joycon actually works. So I guess I'll take what I can get. So slowly but surely, we're learning more and more about the Switch 2. Uh, so the one thing I've noticed more and more is, like I said, I really do believe that Nintendo has jumped on that bandwagon of self-destructing battery management boards, and it's very apparent, at least with the water damage. I know when very rarely would you find, one of the original Switch or Switch Lite or Switch OLED batteries that the battery management board would be completely dead. It's it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's bad when it comes to repairing, and especially at you know $30 for a replacement battery. I'm happy that it works, but I'm not so sure about for what it is. It's extremely expensive for a replacement part. I think it made for a great video, but if you're trying to do this type of thing and make money off of it, there's no way, absolutely no way. I'm hoping to come across maybe some more Switch 2 consoles at a reasonable price that I can get a hold of and attempt to repair. I enjoy working on the system. I enjoy learning new things, and I've had a lot of fun with it. Anytime we can learn something new, it's always a positive thing. So, anyway, I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I really hope to see you again in my nerd cave.